Prévu pour le 23 octobre prochain sur PC, PS3 et 360, le nouveau Medal of Honor nous a été présenté à l'occasion d'un showcase organisé par Electronic Arts à Londres. Baptisé Warfighter, cet épisode met en avant différents groupes d'intervention militaires que l'on retrouve dans des situations de conflit contemporains. Se baser sur des faits réels ou sur des affrontements actuels pour les adapter en jeux vidéo peut se révéler délicat, mais Rich Farrelly, le directeur créatif, semble avoir une autre approche.
There are a lot of special operations tier 1 forces around the world, and I mean a lot more than I even thought there were. So choosing was very difficult, and frankly, we still haven't finalized the list. And we'll roll out probably a more final list later on, in our campaign. We're going to talk more about multiplayer come E3, but part of it is just talking to the operators that we know, and who they've worked with, and who they can vouch for as being these guys are the guys. These guys are like us, and that's kind of sort of how we started to kind of create our list. And obviously there's some that are just more that you hear about in the news every day. So again, there's all these criteria we have. We're not trying to duplicate actual events note for note. We're not trying to say this is the time that this happened with this guy, with this group. It's kind of a different approach. I mean, and it kind of goes back to the inception of Medal of Honor Warfighter comes from a manuscript that was written by two actual operators that we are acquainted with, and we really wanted to kind of roll their story into our game. And they wrote this manuscript while they were deployed in 9 different countries around the globe. And it just reflects the way kind of the war they're fighting has changed. It's not localized to Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever battlefield of the age. It's now kind of dispersed around different countries of the globe, but it's still a common threat. It's still a very credible threat that they need to address, but now they need to move around. So how we address those is we look at an area. We read the news every day, like you guys do, and it's pretty easy to see that Navy SEALs are rescuing hostages in Somalia. Filipino soldiers are being blown up by Abu Sayyaf in the Philippines last week. There are all these different things that are going on. So we look at that. We go, okay, there's a hot spot. Here's a group that's doing it. Here's the group that's doing something about it. Here's kind of a plausible storyline that would fit within that, and then, or we go, here was an event that happened there. How can we take elements of that and make that and weave that into our storyline?
Si pour le coup, c'est bel et bien Danger Close qui s'occupera de son propre mode multijoueur, contrairement à l'épisode précédent qui avait demandé la collaboration de DICE, ce nouveau Medal of Honor profite des liens qui unissent Electronic Arts et le studio suédois pour utiliser le Frostbite 2 Engine, le moteur du dernier Battlefield. Un choix qui permet pas mal de choses d'un point de vue technique, comme nous l'explique Rich.
Obviously, from the demo that you saw today, visually the game has increased dramatically in terms of what we can do with the graphic fidelity. Just the destruction that we can do now in the levels with the micro destruction that we're doing is really adds to the player experience. You saw that we added the ocean water tech, which again with that powerful renderer, we're able to really make it look very, very nice. So there's a lot of stuff. The animation system is allowing us to make our AI look better and better. There's a number of things. Just because we're using the same paint doesn't mean our painting is going to look the same. We have a completely different art direction. We have a different art director. Completely different sort of ethos about how we make our game and the style of our single-player campaign, the style of how our levels are designed. Our weapon feel is different. There are so many things that are different besides the engine that we're not concerned at all.
Et ce Medal of Honor se pointe effectivement avec des idées originales dans sa campagne solo, qui diffèrent totalement de ce que l'on trouve dans le dernier Battlefield, comme le système pour forcer les portes par exemple.
Working with our consultants, one of the things we noticed was they always talked about, we go into them, we breach the door. I went, whoa, you breached the door. What does that mean? So they start talking about all the different, I said, how do you breach a door? And he goes, well, what kind of door is it? Which way does it open? Which side is the door, which side's the hinges on? I mean, so they started asking all these questions. So we were intrigued enough to go, okay, well, there must be multiple different ways to do this. There must be different tools they use. There must be different methods. There must be different reasons why they use those methods. So we kind of distilled all of that and created this feature whereby the players can move up to a certain locked doors or shut doors, and they have to now decide from a menu how they want to approach the situation, and then they can execute their plan and take down the room next door. And they're not always going to be the same. There's going to be little surprises every time you come around the corner, because that's the way it is in real life with these guys. They don't have little cameras or little mirrors to look under the door. They're like, we're going in and whatever happens, happens. And these guys train for that every day.
On espère maintenant que ce ne sera pas la seule feature intéressante du titre et que ce Medal of Honor arrivera à tirer son épingle du jeu face aux grosses productions prévues pour cette fin d'année.